again, what are the factors need to related to the need for the surgical reconstruction after the anterior cruciate ligament rupture. So in the systematic review, they strongly said there is strong evidence that sex and the moderate evidence that knee joint laxity are not good predictors, because based on this only many of the surgeries happening. So they are not the good predictors, and there will be conflicting evidence was found on the influence of the pre-injury activity level. Okay, so again, when the people they don't want to wait the rehab, maybe it takes some long time. I want to go for a surgery. I want to return to my sports because I am an athlete who is in the competitive sports. I don't want to prefer something, so that we can't able to decide. Okay, that preference is based on the thing, because you want to go for the thing in the third month or something, some competition. Some people they prefer and then they can jump into the thing. So that depends on the thing. So pre-injury activity level and all we can't able to do. The athletes is having the own thing, whether you want to wait for the rehab or we see some of the factors, or they want to go for surgery and they want to early return to the sports. It's up to them. So if you see in this Noyes et al. In 1983, only he told that rule of third. Okay, what is that? One third of the patient with ACL injury will compensate adequately, and they are able to pursue their recreational activities without surgery. So they are telling laxity is not a thing. Yeah, it's based on the athlete. Okay, sex is not a thing. Whether it will going to prevent OA or not, there not. But many people they can go for the recreational activities without surgery. So here this keeps on question, and I went back to the literature. I searched whom we can rehabilitate and who are the potential candidates for the surgery. Okay, maybe the study started from here by Fitzgerald. Maybe the previous studies are there but are not a very valid thing. I can take from this thing. The literature says maybe from here I can see a decision making. This Fitzgerald he make a decision. He observes how many patients. Okay, maybe around some 93 patient he included in his study, and then he seen without the thing without surgery. If you do, suppose we do the exercises or something, whether that may lead to any excessive damage with the exercises, or any other adverse event will happen without surgery, because there is an injury. I don't talk here to talk about the grades. There is a ACL ligament rupture. Following that, we take a patient. Okay, whether we do the exercises, first you want to know whether there will be any adverse event, like any problem will happen, or that may lead to any other soft tissue problem. So that is not reported with this rehabilitation thing. Okay, and the safety thing is there, and many of the patient are return to the recreational activities or the sports, but it's not at the very early stage. It taken some time to recover the thing. Okay, almost in the 93 patients, 79% of the patients they return to the sports and the high activity level. So what are the things he observed? Whom are the thing we can take for the thing? And another one thing, if you see, this is the article which published in the 2006, based on that study findings and all, they observed and they termed some patients called as corpus, non-corpus, and adapters. Okay, so that means ACL injury has happened. Okay, and we can see that following the ACL ligament injury, there are some peoples we can take them as corpus. That means those who can cope up with the rehabilitation, and non-corpus. So there are some criteria they kept, because based on this study I am going to tell what are the screening examination and what are the criterias. Okay, some people they will adapt to the normal life. They can do maybe for the initial phase we have to do some rehab, and then they come to the thing and they won't feel like the instability features and all. They can adapt on their own. Some people we can put it as a corpus, and some people we can say as non-corpus, based on what we decide. Okay, so here the screening examination based on that thing, and based on this study, when this criteria, the screening examination shows these criteria are present, then I can take them as a corpus. So what are the criteria? When they can have a 80% or greater quadriceps strength. When the strength of the quadriceps index is more than 80%, yeah, we can take them as a potential candidates for rehabilitation, or I can use the term opus. Next criteria is 80% or greater on a timed op score of the ACL deficient when in comparison to the uninvolved limb. We'll see how we are going to do those things. And then there are some two questionnaires they are taken from the previous studies. One is the KOS. It's not the KOOS. KOOS is different and this KOS is different. The knee outcome survey activities of daily living score when it has more than 80% or greater. And there are something called global rating of knee function scale of 60% and greater. And main thing is they are not having a giving way episode with 2 or more activities of functional living. When they do the functional activities, the ADL like steps, doing and sitting, getting up from chair, at least the 2 activities when they are not having any giving episode, then they are the potential candidates for the rehabilitation, or I can say as scopus. So how we do this hop test? There are 4 hop tests. One single hop test for distance. From here to here they have to jump and land, and we see the distance. Crossover hop for distance. 1, 2, 3 we can do. We measure the distance. And again triple hop for distance. 1, 2, 3. And again 6 meter timed hop for distance. Here, the 6 meter, how much time they are covering. So the impairment will be assessed, dynamic sports related thing and function, and then side to side symmetry we have to see, and there will be 90% or greater criteria, and this triple hop distance was strongly correlated for the function thing. Okay, and some of the questionnaires I don't want to discuss, you can get it in the Google knee outcome survey. Some components are there. Okay, 17 components, and this is about the global rating of. Okay, now I am here to emphasize this very, very strong point. Okay, a patient comes with a suspected ACL injury or some investigations is coming with that thing. Okay, don't immediately try to put them into the potential copper or non-copper. 100% when there is some avulsion fracture or some other associated injury and some red flag findings are there, then they are opting for the surgery. Yeah, fine, that is okay one side. The patient is having a ACL injury suspect. The patient, we see that some of the things, and then we think that he is a potential candidate for a rehabilitation, then we can see. For me, when the patient is happy without any avulsion fracture or something, and is ready to do some exercise program, then we can do the exercise program for 3 months. Initially don't because I won't prefer doing the hop test at the very initial stage. Fine, very initial stage I won't do the hop test or something. So I just prefer the rehabilitation for the initial phases for about 3 months. Then we can think as the progression of the condition is becoming stable and is improving, then we put them into the potential copper or not copper. Okay, so there is no adverse event reported by the thing, and the patient is ready to perform the exercises initially, then he is ready to wait for some time to check whether the rehabilitation is there, going to help him or not, because there is no wrong when the patient is not a very emergency candidate for a surgery. Okay, even you do a rehab, okay, the range of motion, swelling, whatever those things you are doing, suppose he is gone as a non-copper candidate in the later stages, he can't able to cope up with the thing, 100% that quadriceps strength and swelling reduction, pain, everything is going to help him in the for the good prognosis for the reconstruction. So first, when the patient is happy, you don't want to go for the immediate surgery, put him in the rehab program. Then as the stability of the condition, then we'll decide whether he is going to be a candidate of potential copper or non-copper. So when it is recommended, you can educate the patient, okay, where it is not recommended until the individual is doing some professional sports or when there is lack of dynamic knee stability. Okay, there will be some moment of translation. He can't able to walk, that functional activities or the ADL is keep on giving way. He can't able to do anything, then you can think of the reconstruction. Okay, when these two things are not there, educate the patient, we can able to recover the thing, or this rehabilitation, even if he goes for surgery, it is going to help him. So that is our main role. And preference for non-operative treatment for is about 50% of all the patients with ACL injury. Okay, maybe here as we go more into the corporate thing, they will have an insurance, they don't want to wait, people will immediately go for the thing, and then again they'll think what are those things. But in our setup and many of the setup, the people, 50% of the patients with the ACL injury, when there is no any avulsion or something, or this two criteria is not there, they are ready to go for the rehabilitation. So that you can tell them and we can see.